What's going on, everybody? LK here, and today I'll be doing something slightly different because the Granblue Fantasy Versus closed beta starts tomorrow. So I figured I'd go through the player's guide. Specifically, I want to look at the rules of the game and controls. Now, the getting started section doesn't have that much interesting things going on. Like, it seems to be similar to the Dragon Ball open beta and closed beta, where, especially the closed beta, because in the closed beta you could actually move around the arena and meet up with people and play. And it looks like you could do the same here, which is really, really nice. Now, in the open beta, the Dragon Ball open beta was pretty much just a ranked test. So I imagine Granblue will probably be the same if they decide to do an open beta. But this part really just talks about the lobbies. If you played any other ArcSys games recently, starting from around, BlazBlue CP, you should be pretty familiar with this lobby system by now. So I don't want to spend too much time here. The place where I really want to spend time in is the match rules. So the screen looks pretty standard, actually. One thing that I feel like a lot of newer fighting game players have been thinking about as far as fighting games is that some games have way too many gauges and things you have to look at. This game, it seems at least, you just have health bar, meter, the skills, which I'll go into later, and that's pretty much it. They note here that you have the win counter, skill icons, gauge, timer, HP gauge, combo hit, and that's it. Combo counter, that's pretty much it for now. Now, of course, outside of straightforward things that you would understand from a fighting game, you win a fighting game when the other character has no life, we get it. It looks like this game is made for pad as well. I will be messing around to come up with a stick layout, but I think I'll be using the standard anime stick layout. I'll make a video about it probably next week once I figure out what I'm going to be doing. In Dragon Ball, I actually use a kind of unique stick layout as opposed to most people. Most people usually do light, medium, heavy across the top, but I do light, medium, heavy in a kind of a box. I'll show an example some other time. But if you play pad, this is pretty much the default for the game. Now, most games, it has light, medium, and heavy attacks. There's usually a fourth button too, unique action. This is kind of BlazBlue-esque, 3 buttons and a special button. In BlazBlue case, everyone has a drive that's special to them. In Granblue, it seems that everyone has a unique action that's drive-esque also. I'd have to get my hands on the game tomorrow, of course, to really flesh it out, though. You have a 1-button throw macro, but you also get tech with 2 buttons. The 2-button tech automatically means that there is a throw animation, as opposed to, say, your Guilty Gear and Old School Street Fighter. If you're one-frame throws that are 1 button, you have a 2-button throw with an animation. Overhead, which is also a macro and can be performed with 2 buttons. Skill and guard. The guard thing seems to be a little bit controversial. I think they explain it later in the player's guide. So the game has a role. Back, assuming you're on player 1 side, it's back and R2. And they have a forward roll. So Persona also has a forward roll, but it's only a forward roll. This game lets you roll both ways. It seems that you could get hit by lows and throws. Oh, that's only the forward roll. I read that wrong. Only the forward roll gets hit by lows and throws. The back roll gets hit by throws. This I'm going to want to try out to see how strong it is. The game doesn't have air dashes, it seems. It has kind of traditional movement, just walking, running, and jumping. So we'll see how this is. Now, skills. This is probably one of the main unique things. This game is similar to Rolling Thunder. I did not play that game, but that game had a similar idea where you can't just use special moves, or in the wise word of a scrub, you can't sit and spam special moves because your special moves have cooldown. Now, from the Daigo vs. Fudo, which most people watched, I think, if you're interested in this game, fireballs have barely any cooldown time. Basically, when they disappear off the screen, you can use them again. But it seems that the other skills will have some type of cooldown time. And the other thing is, if you use the shortcut input, because they're simple inputs for the moves, your cooldown time will be longer. The shortcut inputs seem to be just for beginners, but we don't actually know how they'll affect the game in its entirety. Like, are there reasons to use shortcut inputs at high level yet? We don't know. Now the Skybound art and Super Skybound art, that's just how you use your meter. You need 100 meter to use these options. I don't know if there are other uses for meter, like 50 meter, 25 meter, but we'll have to see about that. And this, they mentioned the technical commands, so I'll actually go to the character list for this. So all characters in this game, and of course, screw Gran, we're gonna go to my girl, big girl Catalina. This is who I'm playing the entire beta. All characters in this game have simple inputs and technical inputs, as the game calls it. So what this means is there's a shortcut, easy input. So for example, you can see Frozen Blade R1. So it's set legit to one button. But it has a classic FG command of core circle forward, whatever button you want. So this gives you a choice. If you're new, you have an easy way of doing it. A lot of people have issues doing, say, DP motions if they've never played a fighting game before, but they could choose to just use your shortcut input and it'll be easier, but the trade-off is your cooldown on the skill will be longer. I don't know if there's any additional trade-offs besides that. I definitely want to look into that when the beta drops tomorrow. But for now, the immediate things I'm thinking of is, one, if you're new, you have a way to actually be able to perform these moves. And two, there could be situations where it's better to pick the shortcut version because it's only a button or forward plus a button or something, as opposed to doing the whole input. Commands as technicality as a fighting game, from a fighting game perspective, is a pretty interesting topic actually. Like take Dragon Punch. This is a short tangent, but take Dragon Punch. So Dragon Punch is 6-2-3, so forward, down, down, forward. So when someone's in block stun, a traditional thing you could do is you could try to keep them in block stun and do lows if you think they're going to Dragon Punch, because the Dragon Punch input literally takes you away from block, because you have to hold forward, down, down, forward. But in more recent games, a lot of games have like quarter circle back Dragon Punches or button Dragon Punches, or something, like you press two buttons and do a Dragon Punch like Persona. But in this game, you have the manual Dragon Punch of forward, down, down, forward, and you have just forward and a button. So there could be cases where it's just easier to do your Dragon Punch with forward R1, even at a high level, because there's just less to input as opposed to the traditional forward, down, down, forward. Just a little nugget to think about. Now, I saw videos of Daigo and Fudo playing, but I don't really know what moves they were doing, so at this point, I can't really be like, oh, Lancelot, this is his move, it does this, for now. So I will stop here for now. But, like I said, I'll be streaming this game, all 3 sessions of this game, and I'm only playing Catalina this weekend, but I'm going to try to get info on the other characters so I can let you guys know what's up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and thanks for watching.